Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by BASF, where you can count on the trusted performance of Elevo seed treatment to protect your soybean crop. Well, join us at the Bowling Green Tractor Pulls on Wednesday, thanks to Nature's premium liquid fertilizers since 1946. Dale has an update from the Ohio corn and wheat growers. Dale?
Joining me, Wendy Osborne, Director of Market Development for Ohio Corn and Wheat. Wendy, give me a recap of the big picture, our beautiful big bill, and what that means for corn growers.
When we talk about the trade deals, I think most of the farmers have seen all the announcements that have been in the media, but what does that actually mean for corn and wheat farmers? It's actually great news. We are seeing a lot of trade deals happening, and we're on pace to set a new record for corn and corn ethanol exports this year. So great news on the trade front, a lot of optimism. There's still a lot of details to be worked out on these trade deals that will be coming in the next few months, but I would assure the farmers that corn and wheat and corn ethanol are at the forefront of these trade discussions.
Is it just as important to export ethanol as it is corn?
It's really important that that's a value-added process. So we are able to take our corn here domestically, turn that into ethanol, and export that across the world. We're seeing also increased consumption around the world of corn ethanol. Many countries are putting in mandates to help with their air pollution challenges and also reduce their carbon emissions. So U.S. corn ethanol exports are, again, going to hit another new record this year.
Wendy, how do the recent trade deals with countries like Japan, Indonesia, Philippines, and others specifically, we're starting to see a pretty good list, and that's important.
Yeah, we're seeing really a good list with our trading partners. Many of those countries are in our top 10 for buyers of our corn ethanol, and wheat. We're on pace to hit a new record exports with corn and corn ethanol, and that's even considering that China's not in that mix.
I've been visiting with Wendy Osborne, Director of Market Development for Ohio Corn and Wheat.
Well, the first farmer surveys on this year's crops will be a main piece of information in the USDA's latest supply and demand estimate report, scheduled for release tomorrow.
One of the more interesting USDA World Agricultural Supply and Demand estimates every year, the August edition. That according to World Agricultural Outlook Board Chair Mark Jekanowski, who explains why.
This is the time when we start to move off of the trend yield forecasts for the fall harvested crops and start to get some actual data from the ground on what to expect in terms of the yields for corn and soybeans in particular.
That data is based on actual farmer surveys.
September, we'll start to get some actual field collected data on yields, and that will continue into harvest season. Really, this August WASDE kind of kicks off that process of getting a much better sense of what to expect for those fall harvested crops.
The August WASDE and National Agricultural Statistics Service crop production reports are scheduled for release this Tuesday, noon Eastern Time. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
The U.S. agricultural trade deficit hit a record high in the first half of 2025. Bloomberg said that only highlights American farmers' longtime dominant role in world exports, which is hurt by the president's trade wars. Agricultural export value trailed the import value by $4.1 billion in June, a gap that's 14% larger than a year ago. That pushed the ag sector's trade deficit to $28.6 billion through the first half of 2025. And Senate Ag Committee members Chuck Grassley and Joni Ernst of Iowa and Ranking Member Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota introduced the bipartisan Ethanol for America Act to make it easier for Americans to fuel their vehicles with homegrown E15. The markets are next.
Soybeans are a game changer for Ohio's pork industry. Pigs thrive on soybeans' perfect blend of protein and energy, helping hogs nationwide devour the equivalent of 292 million bushels of soybean meal annually. Ohio is number 7 in pork production, contributing to the billions of pounds of pork enjoyed by families across the nation each year. From sizzling bacon to barbecued ribs, soybeans power the farms that feed families. Brought to you by Ohio soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Nearly 90% of farmers say that financial worries, constantly changing market conditions, and other uncontrollable variables take a toll on their mental well-being. Add in the weather and family dynamics, well, it's a lot to handle alone. But did you know farmers and their families can receive free confidential services from licensed professionals? Support is available 24/7 to help with the challenges you face. Look for Farm Family Wellness Alliance under the Resources tab at farmfoundation.org. Take care of yourself. Your well-being matters.
The market's brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. At the Board of Trade, September corn $3.85 up 2 1/4. December corn $4.07 3/4 up 2 1/4. August beans $9.89 1/2 up 22 3/4. November beans $10.11 1/4 up 23 3/4. September wheat $5.15 up 1/2 cent. At the Mercantile Exchange, August cattle $233.07 up 52 cents. August hogs $109.67 up 77 cents. September feeder cattle $340.60 up 22 cents. This is the Ohio AgNet.